Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Robinson and FQQ, this game taking place here on Shallow Grave. Robinson has spawned as the teal night elf on the top left-hand side of the map, moving out and looking like he's going to be going for a tavern hero, as I do not see an altar of elders. Meanwhile, on the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have FQQ going for an early barracks, and I do not see an altar of kings, meaning it may be a battle of the tavern heroes. Should be interesting nonetheless. Let's see what is going to be in store for us. Ancient of War now down. Their moon wells are down here. And, well, we are now getting started. All right. Well, I guess without the altars down, it seems everything just seems a little bit slower and out of place. Let's go ahead and speed things up. Get to that 4 times speed. We can already go to the 2-minute mark, 2:10 mark, and then at that point, we should be able to see what heroes will be selected by the players. All right, I'll just do the customary 2-minute mark. Here we are. Wisp already making its way to the center. Footman already retreating back. Altar of Elders nearly completed. Altar of Kings should already be completed. And, well, what hero will it be? If the Footman is actually able to take down the Wisp, nope, unable to take down the Wisp, it is going to be a Panda versus the Beastmaster, as FQQ bringing out the damage, our AoE damage with the Panda. And now there is already a bear out onto the battlefield. 19 to 21 damage, 600 hit point bear. Meanwhile, the Panda is looking to perhaps launch large amounts of AoE damage across multiple units. As you can see, the low hit point Footman now looking to try and retreat back. Archers, 3 archers and 1 Beastmaster there. Perhaps they're going to try to clear out a creep camp momentarily, as the Beastmaster is still wandering around just a bit. All right, game has started off in a bit of a strange scenario. We're going to go ahead and battle it up. Bear trying to perhaps get in some damage here. Bear versus Beastmaster, as or Panda Bear versus Beastmaster, as the Bear is able to get in a couple of easy, quick swipes here. So far, though, Ancient of War wants to perhaps aggro against those Forest Troll Warlords, but the Panda is making it nearly impossible for that game plan to exactly happen. Footmen already have Defend, so now suddenly the only units that can really deal damage are the Bears, which are now, there are 2 of them, and that Beastmaster. Footman now looking to retreat. 1 Bear now, well, disappearing due to that very, very long-timed life. Back down to the south here, everything does seem to have a little bit more of a purple tint here on Shallow Grave. It seems like everything is a little sickened for some reason, as we are looking at a very large number of militia attempting to clear out the Forest Troll Warlord creep camp by themselves. Panda sitting there Panda with Footman do have Defend. We could be looking at a Breath of Fire. There's a Breath of Fire across multiple units. Meanwhile, down to the south here, Forest Troll Shadow Priest going to end up getting cleared, and that is, what is that, 9 or 10 militia clearing things up. This could give the Panda level 2, and by giving the Panda level 2, well, it should shock Robinson, as FQQ takes the early experience lead, as the Footmen are now looking to fight back against that Bear there. Back down to the south, well, the Brewmaster trying to make his way here, going to be picking up a Potion of Greater Healing and a Tome of Intelligence. The Beastmaster, what is it doing here? Panda going to try and pick up Boots of Speed. Nope. Just hiding right there. Staff of Teleportation, and now perhaps making its way down. 1 Bear dissolving due to that Time Life Footman. Well, 1 Footman lost there, as the archers are keeping the Footman in check here, as we are now going into a Hunter's Hall. Potion of Greater Healing, Tome of Intelligence has been picked up. Staff of Teleportation to rejoin in on the battle, as he teleports all the way across the map, and now perhaps tries to rack in a little bit more damage. Footman gets taken down, as Robinson is trying to capture that Bear, and captures the Panda in a horrible spot. FQQ's Brewmaster in a one-way in, one-way out. Archer has him blocked out on the other side, but the Brewmaster does have a Potion of Greater Healing to use. Is he going to use that Potion of Greater Healing? That is the question. There's another Breath of Fire. Potion of Healing is used, and now damage is starting to rack back up. Footman now coming back across here, as the Archer finally gives way. Scroll of Town Portal burned, but the Panda could try and get a Breath of Fire off, and does not hit the Brewmaster. Brewmaster able to drink that at the Moonwell, just out of range there. All right, the Beastmaster now back up to 206 hit points. Panda versus the Beastmaster. Panda, however, remember, has Drunken Brawler, so could get in a lucky critical strike, but instead gets, could get in a lucky critical strike. FQQ does have a Force Troll Shadow Priest here. Are we going to see a little bit more damage? Panda now trying to retreat back as the Moon Wells are healing up all of these units once more. All right, we're adding in a second hero, a random or a Pit Lord as that middle hero, making its way out here onto the battlefield as the Footman trying to shut down the Beastmaster. Footman now going to go after some of those archers instead, as the Pit Lord with Cleave should be able to swipe all of these units rather quickly. Ancient of War finally uprooted. Beastmaster sitting at level 1, nearing level 2. Expansion is now being built as well, and this is really just using and abusing all of these militia and while creeping away from all of the action. Brewmaster perhaps going to pick up or try and build up an Arcane Vault. There it is. Tech to tier 2, not even started. Meanwhile, Robinson obviously at tier 2 as he has that Pit Lord in that second hero. Economic advantage versus tech advantage now. However, the Panda is a bit low on hit points, sitting at 600 because of Pure of Vitality. Footmen do have defend. There's a big Breath of Fire. 1 archer down, 2 archer down, 3 archers could get taken down pretty quickly. There goes another archer there as the Panda is still trying to engage. Ancient of War. There goes another archer as well, and that damage racked up really quickly. Panda was trying to get a Breath of Fire off, but a detonation in the time as that Brewmaster still trying to keep a little bit of distance still. Brewmaster still running around, getting a little bit of distance, haunting back and forth. Meanwhile, the Footmen are having a difficult time dealing with the Cleave of the Pit Lord as the Footmen now trying to retreat back, getting taken down by the creeps. Panda, Staff of Teleportation, perhaps going to try and pick up a Scroll of Regeneration and heal back up all of the Footmen once he rejoins in on that fight. Tech to tier 2 still nowhere started as FQQ only has 17 workers. Yeah, I was going to say there should be a large number of workers out here on the battlefield. Shouldn't you eat breakfast, Arya? Okay, well, I tell you that there's nothing here in WarCraft 3 that you will want to eat for breakfast. Alright. Panda looking to engage this creep camp here. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Beastmaster and Pit Lord gonna go ahead and clear things up. Robinson already at Druids of the Claw, teching to tier 3 and has Rejuvenation for better creeping. The Druids of the Claw with Rejuvenation onto that Pit Lord allows him to dive in and deal quite a bit of damage. The question is going to be, well, how effective is that going to be overall, as we see now the Panda looking to engage and take down this Rock Golem here. The Goblin Zeppelin actually providing sight onto the other side there, as the Panda, well, going to go ahead and retreat back home. Footman losing a bit of that defend. Or should actually let up on that defend in order to run all the way back. All right, we'll take a look here. What is going to be dropped temporarily? Clarity Potion, Scroll of Regeneration. Going to go ahead and heal up all of these Footmen once more. There they go, and they will be back ready for action in just a moment. All right, the additional Goblin Shredder to try and add in more lumber. No tech to tier 2 that I see anywhere yet. Still a bit of a surprise, as perhaps we are still a bit lumber strapped. We are going into a blacksmith as well. Guard towers do not have any masonry upgrade, even though a level 1 upgrade is available. And FQQ continuing to prop up more and more guard towers. Glaive throwers may actually be a strong play coming in from Robinson, as we are now going into 2-0 upgrades for those Druids of the Claw and eventually Dryads, I am assuming. All right, Druids of the Claw ready to move on out once more. There is 4 Druids of the Claw here. Meanwhile, Goblin Zeppelin dropping in the backfield here, trying to take down this entangled gold mine. And we are going to be going into a bit of repairs. Panda is nearby. There's a Breath of Fire. A beautiful dodge by Robinson. Able to dodge right there. And FQQ is just watching. Is it going to happen again? That is the question, as the Ancient of Lore now joining in on the fight here. All right, trying to feign a Breath of Fire. There's a Breath of Fire attempt. Are we going to see it? There's a beautiful, beautiful dancing of the Wisp and only one ends up surviving. One breath of fire taking down 4, and Robinson will lose this entangled gold mine. Meanwhile, rain of fire preventing much of the repairs here, and this perhaps could have a bit of a disaster, as well as the main town hall at the expansion has been taken down. Meanwhile, Panda now going after the Tree of Eternity. Tree of Eternity does not have Nature's Blessing, trying to fight back against here and really racking up all of that damage too. Guard towers, mass number of guard towers all the way around. Who is going to come out on top here as guard tower after guard tower is falling? Beastmaster trying to take down some of those peasants as that Druid of the Claw is going to go ahead and retreat back, perhaps turning back into Druid form in order to have a bit of mana for rejuvenation. All right, Wisp coming over to try and repair. There's a quick breath of fire to finish things off, as well as we are looking at, well, Wisp or every attack from this Tree of Eternity, 60 to 74 damage. Scroll of Town Portal now inbound, and all of those units perhaps may have to try and retreat back out as we are looking at rebuilding and re-entangling that gold mine. Robinson still repairing this Tree of Eternity right here, and perhaps trying to catch that Brewmaster in a tough, tight spot. All of the footmen, I believe, have been taken down. Scroll of Town Portal now, well, Staff of Teleportation now being used in order to head back home. Panda able to teleport back to his expansion. His expansion is nowhere to be seen now. Meanwhile, FQQ is still at tier 1 compared to a tier 3 Robinson who is not mining. Coming back around here, we're looking at Druids of the Claw with Mastery training. They should be able to, well, rejuvenate each other and get back up to decent health here, as the Pit Lord going to be picking up a Claws of Attack +9, a powerful item indeed, and the Vampiric Aura also helping the Beastmaster as well. Meanwhile, Goblin Sappers on the move, Goblin Zeppelin overhead, and well, this could be a very bad day here indeed, as the Tree of Eternity is at 900 hit points and climbing, but the Wisp are going to end up getting, well, toasted down here in just a moment. Here comes the Goblin Sapper. There's one. The second one is going to hit the Ancient of Lore as well, takes down both of those buildings, and we could turn this into a base race. All right, Wisp on the move, trying to run away. Meanwhile, Dryads, Bears are on a fight again. Robinson trying to clear out the building down to the south here, but look at the massive number of guard towers just preventing a dive on in. The Arcane Tower is actually removing mana from the Bears, and Robinson is in trouble. He does not have a base to mine from. The Ancient of Lores are not going to be able to do very much of anything, as we're looking at, well, a couple of footmen about to get taken down. We do have a level 3 Beastmaster and a level 3 Pit Lord. But is that enough to come away with the victory there, as we are looking at the Peasant slowly going to get taken out as well? All right, what buildings can be placed down? That is the question. Robinson very, very low on hit points, or low on buildings, as he's trying to sell a couple of items. He's down to 513 gold, and he needs his Wisp to try and return as much lumber as possible. There's only one Wisp there, and can it get enough lumber to build another Tree of Eternity? That is the question. All right, Blacksmith gonna be taken down here, and that will be the last remaining building, as the Goblin Zeppelin is flying overhead, trying to find all of these remaining buildings now. Down to the south, we see massive amount of repairing overall, as the Beastmaster now shows up to the party. There's a breath of fire, and are we going to see a couple of bears getting taken down? There goes one bear, there goes another. Level 4 now on the Beastmaster, and we're going to see level 2 Quill Beast joining in on the battle as well. Surprised that we didn't see the Hawk here, as we do see a 123 critical strike coming in from that Brewmaster. Units now making their way off to the north. Dryads purposely aggroing to see what is there, and now gonna perhaps try and back away, knowing that, well, only a handful of buildings are left. All right, is he actually going to try and take this down? Yes, he is. Slow poison on the Ogre Lord, as that Ogre Lord is just dancing back and forth a little bit. The Druids of the Claw could get in some rejuvenations. As long as they don't take any shockwaves, they should be fine, as the Pit Lord does get up to level 4, and now with Endurance Aura. All right, Panda, a summon of one-man army. The Beastmaster summoning a menagerie of units to try and stop that Panda here. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord is off on the other side of the map, clearing out the remainder of this creep camp to get a little bit more gold. And the Wisp down to the south is still harvesting more and more there. Goblin Zeppelin trying to fly away down to 179 hit points. Gonna go ahead and back away here, as the Panda now trying to engage once more. Beastmaster going after the units here, as the Brewmaster has plenty of hit points still. The Ancient of Lore could actually uproot and then try and regenerate some hit points, as this one Wisp is still trying to get up enough lumber to perhaps build a Tree of Eternity. Down to the south here, upgrade to tier 2 underway. There is massive number of guard towers. Overall, more moonwells will need to be added. The Pit Lord with endurance aura really fighting its way through, trying to cleave through all of this here, as the Beastmaster unable to catch up with the fast-moving Brewmaster and all of these shenanigans. All right, here is the problem. Even if a Tree of Eternity is built, well, it doesn't matter, because you cannot train up any additional wisp. You need to start building moonwells first. Tree of Life, no, he's building a Tree of Life, and then he has no more wisps. He's not going to be able to do anything with this. He's not going to be able to entangle a gold mine and start mining any gold. He's not going to be able to build anything until he loses much of his army. All right, 16 minutes into this game, Ancient of Wonder is going to get taken down by creeps, aggroing the creeps in order to join in on the battle. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Beast or the Pit Lord off to the north, getting up to level 5. All right, level 5 Pit Lord, level 3 Rain of Fire, Goblin Sappers trying to make their way, perhaps finding that there is a Tree of Life down to the south here. It is going to get cleaned up, and now the Pit Lord with level 3 Rain of Fire could, in fact, deal large amounts of damage to all of these highly clustered buildings. All right, highly clustered buildings, Druids of the Claw, it should actually all be in Druid form for as much healing as possible. In comes the damage just raining down on all of these buildings, and that damage is going to rack up over time more and more. Another round is going to be needed, but these buildings could end up getting taken down right here. As you can see, all of these buildings are being lost. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, Goblin Shredder and the Panda attempting to take down this Tree of Life here. Even if the Wisp, makes his way back out, he has really nowhere to go. There's a quick death there, as he's going to be revealed soon. In comes some more damage here. However, the Arcane Tower needs to be poked down by the Dryads. Otherwise, it's not going to amount to very much of anything. The barracks could end up getting taken down. Let's take a look at this. Pit Lord still needs a little bit more mana, and the Dryads are now finally pushing on through to try and finish off this last building here. All right, no. A Pit Lord unable to get that last bit of damage. Coming back off to the other side, the Pit Lord needs more mana, has a Sobi Mask. And so that is exactly what the doctor ordered right there, as the units are still going around the map trying to figure out what exactly they can do to live and fight another day. Ancient of Lore has fortified armor. Beastmaster off to the side here. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord with Rain of Fire looking to rack up more damage is doing exactly that again. Going to get this down to about 300 hit points, and then he dives on in. That's not what he wanted to do. Robinson needs to back away. Lost control of this Pit Lord, and now going to be hanging back right here. Meanwhile, only 1 or 2 buildings are left. Panda here sitting at level 4. There is an Ancient Allure Beastmaster showing up, and the Goblin Shredder really dealing quite a bit of damage on this far side here. No Staff of Teleportation on the Pit Lord to join back in on the battle. Units are now trying to make their way all the way to the back here. Beastmaster comes across with summoning up a bear, and now the Ancient of Lore really should be uprooted, and once the Panda leaves and try to start eating up some of those trees. A little bit of damage still being added in once again. In comes Dryad with some slow poison. Bears are out here onto the battlefield, and here we are once again going into an engagement. Beastmaster body blocking against the Panda. Panda could be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, and he is forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. The Beastmaster is going to get, unable to finish off the Goblin Shredder, as the Ancient of Lore is going to start to eat up some of those trees. Pit Lord was trying to hide in the shadows, but not going to be able to get enough mana anytime soon to really burn down all of these buildings. Could try and slowly just tick it away more and more. Again, it's really the Arcane Tower that is the big issue here, as the Pit Lord is going to be able to finish off one of those buildings. Yes, it is. All right, Pit Lord going to be hanging back here. Ancient of Lore, 32/0 supply. There's a roar right there. And really more Moonwells needed to be built off to the north to try and replenish some hit points and mana as well. A level 5 Pit Lord, level 4 Beastmaster going up against a solo level 5 Panda. And we are now transitioning into Griffin Riders. So with the Griffin Riders, a closer look at the action, with the Griffin Riders now out here on the battlefield, the Bears are not going to be able to deal nearly as much damage as we see. Well, there goes that one scout farm. More repairs are underway. The Pit Lord does, remember, have that Sobi mask, allowing for faster mana regeneration. That's the reason why the Rain of Fire just seems to keep on coming. Only one Dryad here, and the Beastmaster does have Quill Beast, so they will be able to help deal with some of those Griffins once they take to the skies. 36 over 36 supply, as some farms were actually destroyed. All right, are we going to see another Rain of Fire right here, taking down that farm? But the Griffins are already on the move, and the Pit Lord spots all of this. All right, is he going to try and Rain of Fire here? Yes, he are. There's the Rain of Fire trying to take down more of these towers. Again, there goes the Altar of Kings and the guard towers. One, if not two of them, could get taken down. There goes one, there goes two, and now perhaps going to try to dive on into that spot. No, decides not to dive on in, and instead going to try to go after the farms. Unable to do so. That's going to open up 2 additional Griffins to be trained. More Griffins to be trained. Griffins wandering back and forth. One actually low hit point Griffin there. We can see the Panda still wandering around, and the Cloak of Shadows during the day, just constantly being able to use that Rain of Fire, has taken a fairly large toll here. A couple of Rain of Fires here, and then suddenly, well, we're going to see FQQ once again supply block. Down here to the bottom left, we see Goblin Zeppelin, well, scouting things out. There is the Ancient of Lore, and well, here's an issue. The Ancient of Lore now needs to reroute itself. Otherwise, it has heavy armor and can easily get bursted down by those Griffins. It wants to have fortified armor if it is at max hit points. Not quite sure why it's not doing that right now. And it should actually be right in the middle of an open space so that those Griffins have to kind of overcommit if they want to try and do anything. Gold mine, main gold mine has been mined out here. We are looking at more damage getting racked up as the peasants are now making their way off to the north. Are we going to see rooting on that Ancient of Lore? No, we are not. This could be a bad sign indeed, as the Griffins are now showing up to the party. The Griffins need to, well, no, he needs to, yeah, no, it's over. Look at that. Oh, wait, no. He was able to buy enough time there. Drunken Haze, a little bit of damage. Griffins are now trying to engage it back again here off to the north, but it now has fortified armor and regenerating quite a bit of hit points. All right, there goes some more. Are we going to see a little bit more damage as well? Breath of Fire, however, adding in more damage there. You saw the difference that little bit of difference made right there, as the Ancient of Lore is still trying to regenerate hit points. As if it tries to get up, it's going to be in problem, as the Breath of Fire does not finish it off. Ancient of Lore, however, going to get taken down as the Griffins are too far away. I called it. The Ancient of Lore needed to be in the middle of the gold mine, far away from the trees. It was already at max hit points. While it was uprooted, it was going to be taking too much damage. And that's exactly what happened. The Griffins able to fly above the trees. The Quill Beast unable to attack while defending. And that was the game. FQQ comes away with the victory by finishing off all the buildings of Robinson. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.